Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. We are back. Today we'll do some Spellrogue. I promised one viewer from last stream that I would do, and that is what we'll do today. And I kind of felt like I haven't done it in a while, and I need to get like more videos and stuff on this, but trying to do some of them has been an absolute nightmare, and I've kind of been putting off for a while. So yeah, we're just going to chill out, and we're going to try and do as much as I can. What have I got left to do in my codex is the question. I've got like lots of little stuff I've been trying to complete, but haven't. I'm kind of putting this off until like I actually do it in a video as well, so I haven't really been focusing on it, but we'll try it. Maybe we'll try to get like maybe 5 voice spells. Maybe we can do that and maybe get lucky or something. But yeah, let's see what happens, and we'll try and just go for the Descent 13 runs and do as much as possible with those. Because I would like to also get those done as well if I can do. At least like 3 of each, because that is like the main way we're going to be doing stuff anyway, and let's just have some fun. You know, do dumb stuff. Do dumb stuff. It's been a long day, so let's re-roll this straight away. Go on, a good start. Ooh, mana symmetry. I do like that. And a common spell. Can I take that? Every second turn, run up against 30 armor. We can probably get away with that if we don't have any other scaling. I need to get 7. Do not like that. 15 damage, Vex die, that and that. Still doesn't give me everything I want. Every 12th lose the die. Maybe I could do that. Do that and then like take both of these and take the mana symmetry. Because that kind of like gets around the stuff. And we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. But yeah. Yes, indeed. Do that. Tilt that. Let's get a 5. Deal damage. Duplicate the 1. I should duplicate the other stuff anyway, but still. Even again. More damage. Hey Phil, how you doing? It's nice to see you, man. I am doing alright. It's been a while since we've done some Spellrogue, and I thought myself we'd try it today, so... yeah, just trying to more or less have a bit of fun with it, you know? And that's going to be a problem there, but that's fine, let's just do this and this. We're going to do what I can anyway, at least. That is the plan. Do that. Duplicate that. Deal the damage, and deal more damage. Yeah, I mean, hope you're doing alright, man. Hope you're doing alright. Must be nice, and you've had kind of an end of the week. I've been doing that for ages. The 4 in a row descent. On just the Descent 13, it's been an absolute nightmare. I've had a few of them where I've had like 2 good runs, and then I get nothing on the 3rd, and it's been doing in there. So I've just kind of think itself, might as well just kind of do what I can. Ooh, I like that Windcrest. I'll take that now. But yeah, trying that is a long list. Yeah, I kind of got like really lucky. I had like a really early Rage Blade with all the setup I needed, with the extra dice on turn 2, I think it is, isn't it? And I was just like, oh, this is just great. And then because I'm playing Lapis, you get all the is it the Fury stuff, whatever. And I was like, oh, this is just brilliant. So I can just like one-shot stuff instantly. And then I won that run. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. But I kind of made a video on that already. And then was like, oh, what else can we do? And then, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could go through that, actually. And just try and keep going through the descents. That'd probably be a good idea. Because I want to come back and do some more content on this. And I just... I think what I probably would say, it's kind of like I hit a wall. And the game was becoming more annoying than it probably was fun. And trying to complete challenges was probably taking a little bit of the fun stuff out, and everyone knows me. I'm the idiot that will do dumb stuff just for content. Oh, I absolutely love the game. I love the game completely. Yeah, it's one of those things where you think to yourself, oh, really? But, ooh, invoke mana, or do we get an uncommon void spell? Until the invoke mana, let's just get all the dumb stuff done today. Get out of my system before we have other stuff happening. Oh, don't worry, I gotta keep doing them, yeah. I think the thing that I was debating on, every 4th attack in a turn. We're not really going to do that, so I could lose a spell. Do I want to lose a spell? The thing I like about the dumb stuff I do is the fact that it does kind of use very niche mechanics of the game that no one ever notices or stuff like that when they come up with them. And I think I need to start doing that more, because that's when I also have fun as well, and then you get to do like all the silly stuff. I don't really want to take that. I'm just going to leave. I don't want to lose a spell either, so we'll carry on. And I think sometimes like knowing how stuff functions is kind of like the way you get that kind of like, oh, that's so cool moments, you know? Yeah, I'll take Red Dawn here actually, and let's do the sleep battle. So yeah, I need to make more content and get back into it, and I think I've got to set up on a way I would like to do that. There you go, the Sparky up once already. But hopefully today will get me on that that path of just like, yes, this is what we're gonna do. I'll use that because I kind of want to get more of the static if I can. And we've got nothing else to do. So yeah, hopefully I'll get some more done. I mean, I'll definitely be streaming this a little bit more as well, I think, because that's going to be a fair shout as well. Get the overflow, trigger that there. Okay, didn't get it in the way I wanted to. Yeah, the Abbot is the issue that I kind of am running consistently into him, to the point where I'm like really fed up of him at this point. As you can already tell. Just because you can't really deal with this scaling as much. Hey Dave Chubb, how you doing, man? Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm back on Spellrogue. Everyone's like, thank God he's doing it. Yeah. I mean, I had some variations with how I wanted to do the, let me get something on there. So, like, variations with the channel and stuff, so I kind of was focusing more on that, and this one's done anyway, but did a dumb decision already, and move on to next. So, yeah. I'm actually kind of, like, enjoying it as well, and I think, like, flexing between... like, making some, like, the quick looks and stuff for interesting games and stuff is, like, a good thing. But I gotta, like, play the games that I also enjoy as well. This is a Spellrogue channel. It technically is, and that's kind of the hilarious thing. That's kind of where my channel kind of, like, peaked off a little bit, is when I started playing this game as well. And I was really looking forward to it. Connors, help me out. Give me something good that I'm gonna enjoy. What should we do this time round? I will admit, Spellrogue will probably be one of the games that will be on this channel forever, no matter what it is. And then, like, variations of that as well. You know, I'm not going to be able to stop myself from playing it, no matter how much I want. Ooh, Amalgamate, I like you straight away, and that's going to be good to take. Amalgamate, you're not a utility spell, are you? No, you're a defensive spell. That's utility, which I could avoid doing with defensive stuff. I kind of want it as well. Could take that, that's fine. Pay 50 gold. No. Don't want that. That's gonna be terrible. This is just like the third turn Either like turn 3, that'd be fine. I might actually take that. I will take that. I think I can deal with this. Yeah, the thing I love about Amalgamate is just... like, it is such a flexible spell. And the fact that because it counts as a defense spell that can actually do damage as well. It's just plain ridiculous. Plus you actually get the ability to maybe duplicate any sort of enchanted die as well. It's like this is what is it's probably one of the ones I'd probably say is underestimated. Oh yeah, if you got a use for the 6s, it's just insane as well. Just double check any order I gotta take these in just in case. Nope, cool. Let's go. So where are we going first? To the left or down the center? Either one. I guess to the left. Yeah, definitely, like, if I got used for this 6 here, it's not still that bad. 6 damage for 6 is still pretty good, but... the main thing is I get to duplicate a lot of die, so we don't care about defending this turn anyway. Oh yeah, like the block as well is like a bonus, but to be honest, I don't even really use it for the block. I like the merge effect and everything else it does, which is hilarious. But the other bit, which I know a lot of people don't use it for, is this. Holding on to die. It's just one of those... I should not have done that first. Like, surprisingly enough, being able to do that and still gain block from it as well is actually, like, probably one of the biggest things I think people underestimate with it. And that's kind of why I like the Azure spells as well. It's the ability to hold on to die or reuse die for the next... Oh, they're giving me that. Oh, okay. Okay, so we have Fireball, which is kind of useful. Roaring Embers, which is not that bad either. I do like Temper to start off, though. Maybe I should go Fireball here, because all enemies are so useful as a trade for that Blaze. Like, straight up. We'll take the event. Necklace we're not really going to use. 100 gold for a spell. I can get rid of Blaze. That sounds like a great deal. My shard. Now, I want to take this because I think artifacts, especially at Descent 13, are really good. What else do you want to do here? I do want to do this upgrade at some point. I'm thinking, do I want the extra damage, like the defense on this, or do I just want the attack? I'll hold off for this, actually. I think we'll hold off. Try to hide our way around it a little bit. So now... I only have not enough, so let's do that. Of course it's the Abbot again as well, I gotta love that. I swear these defense spells are always at my teeth when I do stuff. The nice thing about it is, because I've taken this for the crit on the turn 2, I can do a lot of damage, like, really quickly. Okay, let's do this into there. Get some defense. Do that there. So now we'll defend it up. Do this, see what we can do, but... I hate you, game. Don't... like, I don't know what it is about the Abbot, but it appears so consistently that it is, like... Like, I swear sometimes I'm the one that's going mad over it. Right? Oh, nice. I guess we'll leave that. Don't care about that or that. It's like you never really get a choice in the matter on like what you're doing with the abbot. It's just you are going to get it. Now, can I? Don't think I can get the kill here. So I should defend there as well. I guess I'll put the 3 in here and then accept my fate taking some damage. It's not just me, that's good. At least I know I'm not the one that's going insane over it. I remember once when, what video was I doing at the time? And I was moaning about my bad luck, and I looked back at it afterwards and someone pointed it out. And I was like, yeah, I did make poor mistakes. But then at the same time, like, I was looking at it and like, yeah, but can you argue when I roll like 5 3s in a row or something? First part of it's like, Doctor Who. I forgot. The silence, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Oh, yeah, classic Doctor Who. You know, when Doctor Who was actually good. Probably annoyed some people with that one. I was actually discussing this with some friends, and one of my favourite episodes of Doctor Who, is a Doctor Who episode called Don't Blink. And to be honest, it's so good that not having the Doctor in that episode made the whole episode better. Mind you, I didn't mind Peter Capaldi. My only issue with him playing the Doctor was the fact that he was in Torchwood and was the Prime Minister. And I hated that with a passion. Yeah, Don't Blink is like one of the best episodes, and to be honest, it doesn't even have to be a Doctor Who episode. And I hate what they did with the Weeping Angels afterwards. Like, it was so annoying. And it's one of the things where I will say to other people, like, if you want to, yeah, you can tell some of the other stuff was creeping in to kind of like what they wanted to as part of the design and stuff, but that's a different conversation on what happened with all that stuff, really. But yeah, like I recommend that one episode because you do 2 things with it, and it's something that I think horror films sometimes forget about, is the fact that the audience participation within the medium that you're watching is so important. And I love the fact that even when the audience is watching the angels, they don't move, and when you don't see them, they move. So it's like the whole serial killer thing that disappears out of nowhere type thing. It's like the pinnacle of horror and sense-setting tension. And the fact that you don't know what you're seeing is real or not, and then when you watch the episode back, watching it from the beginning, knowing exactly what's happening, opens an entirely different world to the way you watched it the first time. So like second watches are even better than the first, and that's what's so cool about it. It's the idea of having proprietary information makes the episode even better. It's just, yeah, I kind of wish they kind of stuck to that sort of style where it was kind of the villain of the week, I guess you would say. Kind of styling of episodes and things. Ooh, barrier. Ooh, that's gonna be really good. I can't turn that down. I really... Remember what now? What are you talking about? I know I went through a fight, but I don't know what I was fighting. Ember Storm is me really good. We'll take that here. I love it when people get that sense of humor. It's brilliant. Now what do I want here? You see, you fell into the trap there. You fell into the trap. You know why the marks are on your arm. You just can't remember writing them. Because you can only remember stuff outside of when you're not seeing them. Yeah, I see. Come on, you got to keep that consistency going. Yeah, don't worry. The plot holes are probably one of the biggest thing that I moaned about in so many different things as well. I want the infused shield here actually as well. I'm thinking about it. It's technically better than this and gives me more die to play with, plus 1s and 2s. But means I probably want Vase Blade Orb instead then of the Fireball as an option. Let's take that, and we'll have that as a backup, go for that, and then we'll see. We'll see. We'll think about the Vase Blade Orb. It could be really good, it could be really bad, but we'll think about it. To be honest, when it comes to Doctor Who as a whole, and like trying to hide away plot holes, the issue I don't think is the plot holes. I think sometimes it's just the writing as a whole. The fact you've got so many different people involved in the writing makes it very difficult for them to kind of nail it down as such, right? So I don't necessarily think that is an issue for them overall. It's just like, you've say got like 3 people working on the same episode, and it's like, person A wants to do this, but person B wants to do that. And you're like, well, those 2 things don't work, there's a bit of a problem here. But as we would say, that's a problem for other people to solve. You know, I will not ever pretend to be a decent writer. I can just point out bad ones. Is the fade worth it, taking that here? Oh, yeah, 100% fade is such a terrible mechanic. I am never denying that. Because essentially, you have no option except to either use it or wait. It doesn't give you the ability to kind of play around it as such, which is kind of what's annoying. But I mean, the only other thing I probably moan about this game is the what is it? The enrage effect. And things when you cast like spells and apply targets and stuff like that is so frustrating to deal with. But don't worry, we can kind of force stuff to happen in a good way for us, so. I agree with that statement as well, because one of the things that I'm a champion for of this game is allowing us to make fully customizable runs. And I would set stuff up for like really, really good challenge runs and stuff. So they kind of do it on the dailies and things, which I probably should actually do some of those as well. Maybe we'll jump into one today, to today's daily. But like I would give you like specific set of spells, or do cool things where you only get like stuff that only makes you money, or things like that, and you can only buy spells or stuff like that. Like really kind of nail it down to do very interesting things, or like every spell costs you life to do things or stuff like that. Like it'd be, you could do so many different things with it and it'd be awesome. To be honest, my only issue with the dailies is the like high level of difficulty they seem to have put into them. Like, some of them are, like, really easy, some are really terrible. Yeah, that's kind of the problem, is the fact that that's why I kind of say, like, the custom runs, you want them fully customizable, like starting spells. Being able to choose your starting spells would be such a cool thing for your custom runs. or setting ones up, and then you could like share the codes with the people for them to have a go and see if they could do it. So you could set up proper challenge runs rather than other things like that as well. Like one of my favorite ones to do would be to set a challenge run up where you have no attack spells and you remove them completely from the game. Would love to see people and what they could do with that. Still got everything else available to you. You can choose any character, or even having, I think they did it with the rainbow feature for like one of the, for whatever they call it on here. You got all the spells available, which is kind of cool, and I like that idea. Just like limiting spells in a particular way would be kind of cool, or doing a duo run where you can have like 2 of the spell slingers for you. Let's choose a spell here. Because that'd be kind of nice as well. Like you just pick, say, like Sephara and then Hazel, and you just have both their spell sets for you to play with. What do I have? I have that, so technically this is not that bad, actually. Channel mana. Might be worth it. Fireball is kind of pointless. Random enemy, though. I guess we'll take this still. But yeah, it would be nice. Like I said, when it comes to game development and stuff like that, I understand people have a vision of how they want the game and stuff, and I'm not going to be like... They've done a really good job with it as well. It's just, it would be nice sometimes to have those little extra niceties. You know. It would also shut me up. It would also shut me up. Okay, what are we going to do here? Well, I can do that, still gain nothing, take damage for it. I'm happy with that. I so wanted this as soon as I saw it, just because, like, I know I'm going to generate a good amount of die anyway. 2 1s, not very good there. Can do this, though, into that. Just rolling this now. Should I do this? If I do that, I gain 6, which is still not enough, and I can't gain more armor. Oh well. But yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of cool things you could probably think of that would be kind of nice to do for the setup for certain things. So I know I was having cool ideas after the fact, which doesn't really help a situation when you think, oh yeah, that'd be kind of nice to do. What are we doing here? Well, 42 damage is still quite... Actually, it does actually work fine here. You can do this. Put that in there. Don't want to merge that. We do that. Put the 3 in there, because I'd rather have a 3 than that. But yeah, I should do some of the dailies. Maybe we'll do one after this. And see what's on there. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll have a look at the custom runs, see if we can do something stupid. You know, I like being the king of stupidity. That gives me a 2. A 1. That goes in there for 3. Check that in there for 6. We don't want that. I think we wait after he summons here. I think that's slightly better. Just so we get rid of those guys as well. You don't really need to wait. I can just remove him from the game anyway. Ouch, game. That's not very nice. I could have actually gone to the 4 there. Only 6. Eh. Yeah. Nice. First one down. We got a good start. We got a good start. I just need some other cool stuff. What do we got here for options? First dice roll split into 2 is pretty good. I might take that. I'll take the healing, and then what we got here. The owner of the arena. Ah, breach style tactics. Interesting. I might actually check that out, Phil. I might actually check that out. Because at the moment, I'm kind of on that waiting for Slay the Spire 2 path a little bit. But like something I can really sink my teeth into, because I've kind of reached a point with a lot of the ones where either I'm already bored of them, I played them too much, or I'm finding it slightly frustrating. So yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Or I'm waiting for other releases as well. I mean, there was a few of them for, I think, the Atlas one. Yeah, the Moon Sigil Atlas. I'm waiting on that as well, really. I got to see if there's any updates or things like that for it. Ooh, Dex Destruction. You might take that, actually. That Flamestorm with an upgrade might actually be really good. And the extra die, I like that as well. So, okay. So, don't care about this spell anymore. We are disenchanting Fireball. We're taking the Flamestorm, is it? I think. And we're going for this. And putting that in. And my job now, Amalgamate can come out, I think. No, I guess we'll keep that. So, my setup is to generate dice and get as much defense as I can. And then hopefully one-shot stuff. So, yeah, let's go. Yeah, I gotta see what's going on with that game, because I'm kind of interested. That's gonna be terrible. Kind of not really, actually. Like 12 per hit seems absolutely fine, seeing as that's what I plan to do anyway, and I'm not going to get any more power, so I might actually take that. Enemies having more max HP seems absolutely fine as well. For per upgraded spell. And I guess I get 80 gold for free. Yeah, let's go. Let's go indeed. And I got enough gold, so an early shop could be interesting, but I need to take this, so... Yeah, I actually like the Moon Sigil Atlas and that its way of doing stuff, and I did kind of break the game a few times while playing through it, so that also helped my opinion. And there were some other ones I tried out as well. Oh, what's that sort of like demon summoning one was very interesting on the mechanics. The issue I think with that though was... So actually, speaking of that game anyway, the game's really good. I think it's on the channel, I forget the name of it, but if I remember it, I'll let you guys know. But it's worth checking out the video anyway. The issue with that game overall, and I think it's kind of a good idea to point this out, because I think it's something that is interesting enough to be like, ah, that's why that's an issue. So the game revolves around a mechanic of essentially, you can combo and set stuff up in a... Essentially, it's a pentagram or hexagram pattern. And it's got like 6 spell slots, but it relies around you creating like a star shape, essentially. The issue with it is, like, if you could make other shapes, it would make the game's mechanics very more complex and very much more interesting, because you could have different effects based upon what shape you made or how many points you made within that shape or things like that as well, which would create a lot more depth to it in the long term. The issue is the theme of the game works against that. And it works against it in such a really bad way that you can't really introduce that as part of the mechanic design. Which is a bit of a shame, really, because, again, like, I think the game actually has a pretty good basis, is fairly interesting on the mechanics of it. It's just that's a massive flaw as part of the design philosophy. We need to upgrade this as well. Amu, yeah, nice to see you, man. I know, I've been meaning to stream this a lot more. I haven't done it in a while. My bad. You can all moan at me for it. I do deserve that. Yeah, it's one of the things, like Spellrogue has that to a certain point where the design of the game forces you to have a certain way you end up having the mechanics go and things like that as well. So, oh no, man, I feel so sorry for that. I know how you feel. I said I've only got up to 2 in a row so far, and then I got like completely rolled over by, again, the abbot, but I pretend he doesn't exist as much as I can, but he who shall not be named, shall we call him? Okay, 12, we can get some defense on that. At least you got the achievement. I'm still trying to struggle my way to get it, so show off. I said we're starting ourselves a very interesting build already here. We got a bit of dice destruction. Still working on 2 in a row. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? We got a very interesting dice destruction setup here. That doesn't actually give anything else, so we can just generate some extra die here now. Get all my defense. Yeah, essentially, like this is kind of the setup that I end up getting, where it's like I get like a really good run early, and it's just like, oh yeah, I just have to take everything here. What else do we want? Ooh, Gathering Flames could be interesting, but we've already taken the limit to 12 damage per turn or per hit, so we don't really want to do too much of that. Don't worry, Phil. You will get it eventually, and then you'll be as crushed as the rest of us when you lose. Part of me hopes you never get there, because you'll never feel the pain that we went through. I'll take the crescendo. At least it's sellable. Next fight. Yeah, we actually got like a... We've actually got a really good setup. We've got the Flame Ward Fragment to give us extra thing for just doing dice destruction stuff. We've got Flamestorm upgraded with the dice destruction. We have other ways to kind of generate dice with dice destruction or do it for free. So yeah, I'm liking this. We're actually having a pretty good run. I should have done this first with the one I had, but never mind. I must say, we are in a semi-good spot. Guess here... Well, technically I do get 2 back, so this is still worth doing. Thank you very much. No point in doing that, but... And this is -3, so as long as I have 1s and 2s left, we're getting good value on the Flamestorm. Very nice. Okay, watch this destroy the other 4. Oh, okay, it didn't. The other thing I gotta do is I gotta remember I can do this and reset the turn. Like, I played this game for so long and never realized this was a thing you could do with this. I genuinely couldn't believe that I just didn't notice that before. That's absolutely hilarious to me. Keep the 3s around. We'll generate another 3 here. Generate lots of extra die. The thing is not, they are genuinely random. They are genuinely random. At one point they weren't, though. Hey, I got videos up where I rolled like 9+, so don't even start on me with just 8. You've never known true pain. Yeah, I know. I did the math. It's like, have you ever seen a grown man cry? Well, I say that, but those literally are the moments I live for. I don't really want to do that, so we defend against that one. If I put that in there, we can get the thing to trigger, right? No, we're one off. Yeah. Oh, we killed them. Nice. I look away for a moment to rechat, and then suddenly we win the game. What have we got now? Ooh, extra life is not that bad. Every 3 attacks. We're not doing 3 attacks in a turn, so extra life could be really useful. Plus, it's a good thing to chuck away. I've also thought to myself they must be rigged sometimes, because I've had that point where it's like, so, with all the spells I had, like, the only ones at one point I couldn't use are 4s, and I rolled so many of them. But then I don't know if that's just, survivor bias, right? I only remember it because the fact it's the only one I couldn't use. You know? Every other time I've rolled them, it's been fine because I could use them and I didn't care. Okay, the right decision is to take the bowl of water here, because it's probably the best one I can do. But I'm going to re-roll and see what else we get. That is extra damage. On enemy death. I will take that, actually. That seems kind of semi-useful. Let's go. You're going to give me something interesting. Ooh, status effects. Do I apply them to myself? Yeah, when it hurts me, I notice it, you know? It's kind of like... What are you talking about? That asks me all the time. It's like, I know the right decision. I'm not going to do it. I'm never going to do it. And I'm going to make you guys watch while I not do it. Actually, that's... yeah, I like that. That could be pretty good. No, it's not. It's not. It's not good. This is probably better. Just extra stuff in X spells, so we got, like... Don't know if this one will work in there, but... Might work with some of these stuff later. Or just defensive things. Hey, that's my catchphrase. Don't take that away from me. Oh, it's the crones. Oh, great. Here we go. This is the true test. To be honest, it's one of the things, and I've always said this about Spellrogue, is the crones is probably not the toughest boss fight in the mid-game, because there are other ones depending on what potions you've got, but this is probably what I rate every run I have against, is whether I can defeat this at the point that I hit them. It is probably the biggest thing I sit there and go, okay, what do I do here kind of moment. Can't do anything now. I'll take 2 damage to get 2 extra die. And yeah, the pass. Yeah, the problem is, I find, is... So the other ones you get are essentially a DPS race and another DPS race. But it's a DPS race with an out for 1 potion. So the other 2 fights, they're not really great. And this one's probably, you know, it's doable and stuff. But the other 2 are just kind of like... mediocre fights. Like, it's just like, do I have enough damage to beat them before they beat me? Yeah. I said this before, and it's one thing, like, especially if I could spend the time to mod it and stuff, and then actually release a version of that, and, you know, actually do that, I would change that fight so the affliction doesn't scale as fast, but it can be reapplied. So it is still a DPS race, for sure, and the fight still goes on, but the affliction is more of an impending doom scenario. So, like, have it scale like 2, 4, 6, 8 instead, or like 1, 2, 4, 8, and double it that way or something. rather than it being like 5, 10, 15, 20. I mean, at one point it was doubling. Yeah, it reapplies it always at 0, and then when it reapplies it again, it just keeps increasing the increments, so think of it like a number line. So it starts off by, say, going up by 1, and then when it reapplies it to you again, it goes up by 2. But you've got to think, if it reapplies it, basically all it's doing, so it's like a stacking buff, essentially. So you start taking like 1 damage, and it increases to 2 damage, then 3 damage, and then by, say, turn 5, you're going to take 5, but it gives the buff again, so it'll go from 5 to 7, and so on and so forth. Which means that it doesn't scale as hard, but late game will just ruin you. But also at the same time, it kind of means you can kind of play around a little bit more, and it kind of fits into the style of what it is. Yeah, it's that kind of thing where it's like, you still want it to be a DPS race, because that's the point of it. You know, it's a damage check. If you like, can you survive this? And then you're just going to have the pot luck to do it. Guess we're taking damage here. Use the potion. And then get dice. But all it does, it just removes the... But that's sort of like, if I have the potion, I win. If I don't, I lose, kind of thing. Like, there are certain fights that probably you shouldn't win with any build against them, but because you got the potion, you just do. And I don't mind, like, hitting a fight that you know you can't win. I don't think that is bad game design, it's just pot luck sometimes, and very rarely does that happen in this, but I would say that, yeah, that particular fight, for the malediction fight, is very, very one-sided. So hopefully someone is getting removed here. Ooh, you can do that. No, I can't. I can only do 12. So, it's every hit. So, yeah, that was one thing that, beforehand, I never took this debuff, because, let's just say, I'm a hammer man, yeah? Yeah, I know. I'm a hammer man. I like seeing him big number. Me like big rock, you know? Yeah, the caveman brain is like, big number, go boom. It's what I live for. I could take 2 damage here, but let's just roll some extra die and have fun. We can get more die. There we go. But yeah. Nice thing about this is because I do like 5 times whatever, the crits actually kind of help out burst stuff down, and then because I've still got this, the fury actually works out. And I'm not sure how it works with is it just damage? Yeah, reduced damage taken to enemies. I'm not sure if it's just general damage or just like everything is the issue I have with that. Ooh, Fragmentize, I like you. You're coming with me then. That can go. Like, I don't know if it affects poison and stuff. So, like, if I got 50 poison, do they only take 12? Right? Because I'm always too scared to test it out. And I may have tested it in a past video, but yeah, that might have been a... Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. You know I can't resist. Okay, so Fury doesn't work with sticks, but Rupture does. Rupture is applied to the enemy. And I have done that before, and it's worked out really, really well. Ooh, Zeal of the Sun. Delightful. You were exactly what I was looking for. Thank you, game. I think this is pretty much what I needed. I'm sorry, Amalgamate. You're kind of being gone here now. I'm going to keep you at the front, though. You did good stuff. You did good stuff. Oh, don't worry, look, we're going to get Molly's Brindle as well, so you can destroy one's gain Fury and also do gain 2 block as well from it, so why not? Give me all the dice destruction. So this was the thing, I'd done this run, literally like this exact run before, and I noticed people looked at it and went, I never would have taken Zeal of the Sun because I believe it's so bad. And part of me is just like, I get why you think that, but because I had all the setup beforehand, and like, Azar just seems to love dice destruction for no reason. I don't know why it's such a like a really core part of his mechanic, because you think like it should be a debuff. But for some reason it works really, really well. But yeah, I remember once before where people looked at me like I was like, why are you taking that? It seems terrible. Actually, I should keep Amalgamate. I should get rid of Fragmentize for that. My bad. Yeah, Amalgamate is the thing that gets me out of this trouble. Okay, if I lose, it's my fault. I deserve it. Oh, there we go. Actually, I do kind of want Fragmentize, because if I get higher stuff, I want them in. Oh, that's not rolling, so I do get to keep ones on that. Nice. I think there's just the defensive option now that increases damage by dice destruction that I really want, so... Ooh, some 3s, delightful. I can do that again. Oh no, my Zeal of the Sun has been taken away from me. I get to roll 2 die here. Let's get that. I do love it when the game's like, yeah, I've got this now, and I've noticed every one gets destroyed. I'm like, man, I roll a lot of ones, don't I? There we go. You see Survivor's Bias. I still think that's probably one of the coolest things that someone kind of explained at one point, Survivor's Bias. And for those who don't know kind of like what it is as such, essentially the army at one point were trying to figure out how to protect their planes better. And obviously they were taking analysis from the planes that returned from their journeys. I think this was during World War II. Because they wanted to figure out, okay, what's basically destroying all of our planes, which ones are surviving, why are they surviving? And they mapped it all out, and you saw all the bullet holes on the planes that came back, and they want like, okay, so this is where the planes are getting hit. So what we should end up doing is we should put armor... Oh, I haven't already died. More armor on the places they got shot, because that's where they're being shot. The issue with it is by doing that, they ended up pointing the back that the planes that got shot in those particular areas are the planes that came back. So you don't actually need to armor those places. You should armor the places where they didn't get shot, because those are the ones that got taken out. And it's one of those small things when it comes down to... Ooh, Fickle Barrier. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, and like teaching that lesson to people of like, sometimes just looking at the data, you really have to think about exactly what you're getting from the data to represent. Like the other lesson, especially seeing as I deal with like data and statistics all the time for my job, is the fact that when you look at something, correlation does not equal causation. It's a phrase everyone throws around, but like sometimes you never really know what they mean by that. And essentially what the meaning is, just because, you know, when it rains outside, you know, everyone likes ice cream. And it's not the fact that it rains outside so everyone likes ice cream. It rains outside so people are inside more often, so they decide to do something that cheers them up, and it happens to be eating ice cream makes them happy. You know, it's just a complete coincidence that those things just happen because nothing else ends up going on. It's really, like, kind of, like, cool and unique that, like, those ideas, those things happen, and now I might have problems. Let's roll some of these. Two twos, there we go. You know, I am a man of maths and numbers, and absolutely love them. Yeah, we'll do that. Because it's just like sometimes understanding stuff is not as ever simple as it seems. I think what's the famous phrase from Sherlock Holmes, isn't it? Is like, once you've gone through and removed every possibility, no matter how improbable, the one solution is obviously the answer, or like something along those sort of lines. But yeah, it's like, all you gotta do is eliminate the more common solutions to a problem, then whatever remains must be true. I think that's more the turn of phrase that's used. And it is like 100% like right on that sort of stuff. It's like, in some cases you don't need to know the answer, you just need to know how to remove other answers. Fragmentize that first. Get another 3. Delightful. I do laugh, I do this, and I don't actually gain anything from the spell. But I get it from the actual destruction of the die. An improper way to use Zeal of the Sun. There we go. That makes a 4 there. Let's do that again. Oh. Tenacity, yeah. Give me a way to scale my defense, I'd pop off on this build. Don't know if it's really needed, though. Like, 'cause I'm kind of cheating the system with Molly's Bindle here. So I'm actually gaining defense from the barrier, which technically means I do have an infinite scaling defense. I just got to get set up first. And again, Amalgamate, holding a die proves its worth. And yeah, let's generate some die. Do it again. And Shermal. The problem is, like, the only issue I have here is I can't target stuff. Oh, we can cast this next time. Do this first, so we actually have more die to go through. Oh, don't start with the classical backflips. I don't want to show up in front of you guys, come on. Actually, I'm thinking, what would probably really pop this build off? I think there's another relic for dice destruction that gives you other stuff. There's also the one that would give me, if I didn't have this thing, can give Fury for the block you got left over. That would also be pretty cool. Just thinking, like, is there anything else that would be kind of interesting on top of that as well? I mean, I would obviously take the tenacity, and I'm not going to say no to a free win. There's also that spell, or what's it called, that gives you defense for increasing defense every time you destroy a die as well. Like, that would just also be a home run. Ones. Oh, don't worry. I don't know anyone's name most of the time either, let alone spell names and stuff. I just go by what they normally do, and that's how I remember stuff. You know, nothing better than going to work and be like, oh yeah, IT guy. Don't worry, they friends. They call me Spreadsheet Dude anyway. Although that does sound like a really bad superhero. Or a good one, I don't really know. I think that was one. The thing is, right? You might say that, and that might be a funny joke, but what was it? Was it Ben Affleck did a movie which was called The Accountant, which essentially was Spreadsheet Man, although with guns and a lot more action, which is a bit disappointing. Because I would have loved to see him, you know, yeah. I would have loved to seen him spend 2.5 hours, you know, making sure he had a properly formatted data file. He was a much disappointment to me, that film. And then maybe he could have, like, thrown in a flower for his sweetie as well, I don't know. It was because I remember, man, it's been ages since I've actually seen that film, so my memory of it is not 100% great. But I think there was a part in that film where, despite all the action and everything else as well, he was probably the most threatening. And it was when he was literally just listing off numbers that you remembered from. Like, he was like talking to a guy, and obviously the guy's doing some money laundering and stuff like that. Fair enough. I said pretty much the clips of the things are in my mind now as well. But he was just listing off like what the guy did, his overall gross net worth in regards to what he does for his production, how much of the stuff he bought, and things like that as well. And it's like, you're messing with a guy who's literally just listed everything that you own and do every single time you own to make any form of transaction, and you're telling him you're not hiding money? Like, dude, like, the guy's got a gun to your head, literally metaphorically. Don't make him actually pull out a real one. Let's do that and do that. You know, I'm more scared of that dude that knows all your, basically, dirty secrets at that point. Like, he's got all your... he knows where the skeletons are buried. I'll go for it. I mean, one of the things I always find hilarious is action flicks are action flicks, and they are just there to essentially F&A and blow stuff up. That is literally what they're there for, and that's what makes a good guy film. It's very simplistic, doesn't read much of a story, and just needs some really good highlight reels. And if you have a really good story and motivation, you get a John Wick film. Uh-oh. I mucked up. So, yeah. Man. I remember when the John Wick film came out, and yeah, like, damn, man. The peak of cinema at that point. Which is a terrible thing to say now, right? Oh. Like, part of me was trying to figure it out ages ago on why... Oh, we might take some damage here. Oh no, yeah, we got barrier, but we're good. Like, I've been, like, talking to a bunch of people and stuff, and, like, we always have weird conversations always pop up around random things, and, like, you just normally into that point where you start going through stuff and think, okay, so what seems to be the issue kind of thing around these sort of things. And I was trying to figure out with some friends and stuff on just, like, why are movies so bad now? Like what's caused the issue of them just not being as good as they once were? Like, is it just the writing? Is it the characters? Is it the lack of skill some of the people have in writing stuff? Like, I'm not going to be mean or unfair about it, but I would suggest in some cases that sometimes I think certain people don't know how to write a children's book, let alone a movie and stuff like that. Or is it like the egos of some of the people? Like, they feel like they have to, like, make something that's for them? I don't know, but then it's like, it gets very confusing. And I think, what was it? There was, see, I always thought, like, like the global market and stuff like that, I think doesn't really exist, right? And there was a was it the Japanese director for Evangelion, I believe it was. It might have been him, or it was someone else, that basically said that he wanted to tell a story that he wanted to tell for the people that he was trying to appeal to, which was his own culture and stuff like that. And he didn't really care if it didn't appeal to anyone else. And I think that's, like, perfect, because you make your story around, like, your own culture and your own thing, which means that people get to appreciate that, which in my opinion makes it more inclusive, because people get to share what you're trying to represent. The problem is, like, when you start, like, taking stuff out and trying to appear to essentially buttered bread, you know. You can get some really good buttered bread, like really good butter and really good bread, but it's not exactly exciting. Oh, come on, don't take my 3 like that. That's mean. See, the kind of, the theory I had, and some of my friends, we kind of, like kind of went over it and kind of went through the same route and tried to process it, was we don't believe that it was an issue of, like, trying to appeal to a global market or anything else as well. We think it was more the idea of the fact that you had a bunch of people that were probably really good at their jobs, right? Like, really, really good at their jobs. And you really couldn't, like, you didn't want to let them go because they were so good at their jobs. But then you never really trained anyone in learning how they do their craft. So all the skills that they end up having when they end up leaving the market or leaving the industry just go nowhere. There's no one to inherit them, there's no one to take up the mantle as such, or things like that. So you're just kind of left with people that are probably not as skilled, and then that process repeats ad nauseum because the best of the best is now not as good as it once was, and this is sometimes why you might then look back and think, man, I've got some real nostalgia for certain things. Like, yes, they may be classified in their own time frame of when they were made, but they're still classics. And sometimes you do get stuff that comes out now, which is like is an instant classic, and you think, like, are we ever going to have that again? And then you may get another one as well. And I do stand by, I think, like, it is the sort of passing of the mantle is kind of not existing as much as it was. And also, you get away with a lot more back in the day as such. You know? You really could just kind of say or do whatever you wanted to, and then people would either watch it or not watch it, which I think probably helped more than hindered. But yeah, I could definitely see just like them appealing to a global market is also a bit of a problem. Like me and my friends were talking about like how a lot of companies look for short-term investments, and part of me believes it's because the CEOs of these companies are normally, let's just say, are of an older generation anyway, that probably won't be in the industry for much longer, or they're looking for a quick turnaround, which then just ruins the company going forwards. There we go. Cool. Bite down. You know, because making a quick buck is a lot more efficient than it is trying to maybe, like, keep a company afloat for long term. Ooh, dice destruction on that. Yeah, let's take that, why not? An extra die, and I destroy a die every 13 rolls. We got a dice destruction setup, baby. Don't like rolling one less die every turn, that seems terrible. Them something extra power seems fine. End of turn 5 taking 30 damage. I probably could take that and I'd be alright. 21 max life. I don't have that anyway, let's take that. Yeah, that's good. You also need to do a beat the stage 4 as well on Descent 13. That's also something I've been trying to do. It hasn't worked out very well either. Let's go to the shop. Let's see what we can get. We'll go with the event here. Ooh. I guess I just want the fire spell again. Like water. Ooh. There are some stuff in here I could get. Like defensive wise. Only if I didn't have this. No, that's threshold. Submerge isn't bad though. Submerge is not bad. Forbearance is just extra damage, but we don't really care. Wild Blaze Orb, you're being disenchanted. But yeah, I do miss a lot of classical stuff. And just like things that are interesting. Like, I think sometimes like it's a point of like sometimes you'll recognize that something has a extra block. More spell choices. Let's go with the extra block. Like where something has value for having a good idea, even if it's like not overly implemented well as like across the whole thing. And noticing stuff like that is sometimes what people tend to miss. And I will say now, like, if you end up being like in like recruitment or looking at people to employ or stuff like that, noticing skills and applying people in the right places is a far more important skill than probably a lot of people will actually give credit for. Here's also my other least favorite mechanic, suppression. again, it's something that I cannot deal with. I just have to accept it. Oh, there we go. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. There we go. Done. Thank my lucky stars that I have got, like, dice I can use to generate other die. That goes there. Now we generate more die here. Get rid of the other suppression. The 2 goes there, the 3 goes there. That goes there. And then destroy it for no reason. But yeah. Back to more Spellrogue. That's good. I think one of the worst enemies in this area here are the monstrosity enemies that appear. I'll take it. I would like something better, but let's go this way. Edge of Insanity. Well, I only actually... Yeah, let's take that, actually, I think. Or upgrade a random spell. I am going to try and upgrade a random spell there. 40 gold, isn't it? This can do a right upgrade anyway. Amalgamate got it. I guess that's kind of fine. I would have preferred it landed some of the other ones, but oh well. What else we got? Crisis Orb actually is pretty good, but I don't have the money for it now. The regen potion. Disenchant extract. I'll take the regen vial. Ah. Ah, it's the brother. No, it's not worth disenchanting the Amalgamate because of, yeah, I know, right? It's not worth disenchanting because I'm relying on the Amalgamate to build me up to 3 or 4, and the Fragmentize to get me down to make the 3 or 4. It's such a core part of the build, so if we're going by, like, importance, it's kind of like this is, the Amalgamate's the most important spell I've got. So, the only issue with it is it's going to take away the crit, which is a bit of a problem. I know, and Phil, you jinxed me, that was the problem. You said about Fade being the worst mechanic, and now look at what's happening. But yeah, I mean, it is debatable whether it's worth disenchanting this. My money is probably on the no. The only reason I say that is because, like, if I don't have this, there's not much else I can do in other, like, I can't generate 3s consistently to go into Zeal of the Sun to do the whole combo with that. So. But mind you, like, the crits don't really matter that much anyway, because I'm going to get Fury, but I'm going to lose it to this, so, yeah. I mean, it's still worth extra damage, so it's not that bad. But here comes the problem now that we'll have. Because I can't do damage without this, so I might actually lose this run because of it. The only thing I can hope is the fact that I get enough. enough barrier. So let's try and force it a little bit, shall we? Do that and that. The good news is because I have the ignite thing, if I get lucky and the ignite goes on Flamestorm, Flamestorm will always be active for me. And of course I can gain defense from just not using the die. Because the faded can't be applied if this is on it, which is the main thing that I'm hoping will happen. Let's do that. That 3 goes in there. And do this, just get the defense. Thing is like, I don't think faded as itself, like on its own, is a bad mechanic, and that's probably a heinous thing to say, I know. But I think the issue with it is the fact that it stacks. Right? Actually, this is probably actually a really good opportunity, is as we're going through here. Yeah, I think I've solved it. I got kind of lucky though. Yeah, it is the big issue with it. So, as we're all here and we're all thinking about it, what would be the solution for it? So, what Fade is meant to do is the mechanic, right? Is to essentially make you not be able to cast a spell. Yeah, eventually, yeah, it literally takes like a few turns, especially when he buffs himself again, like you can't play it. Like you literally you end up losing because you got unlucky, which is a nightmare. The good news is for those people who wish to not pay attention to that, you can just quit and restart the fight. I didn't tell you that. But yeah, like what would be the way that you'd end up fixing the faded aspect, right? I think there's a few different things. There's one, not allowing it to stack, so it only basically lands on the spell, and once it's used up for that turn, it's then gone, so there's no multiple things, could be a good way. The other option is it only lands on spells at the end of your turn that you haven't cast. That could also be another way to kind of force it to be a little bit better while still being as punishing. So you can play around it. That would be a much more interesting way to kind of allow it to work. And we should do this actually no. We can make 4s, so this is actually the better choice. Or is this the better choice? No, this. Like those are really like two kind of off the top of my head ways I would probably think about changing it and like adapting it to make it a little bit more efficient. And just like kind of going with the whole gameplay aspect of it's there. Or the other option is to make it take more charges on the cast. So if I get faded on Amalgamate, I can only cast it once rather than twice. But then does that take away from like depleting effects and other stuff like that, you know? You could turn a benefit into a disadvantage. And this is like the sort of things where it's like, if you start thinking like that, you can apply the same logic to a lot of other things that you do as well to kind of make interesting solutions to problems. Get 4 die, destroy 1. It's always one of the interesting things that I like to kind of compare around with. It's like if you want to keep the idea of what a design's like when you design something, like you want to keep the same basic principle, like the heart of the reason of why you chose to do it that way. But at the same time, you want to make it fairer, balanced, and stuff like that. At that point, I think then it makes it a lot more easier when you like play other games and stuff. Oh, this is a stupid thing, and like, yeah, instantly, like you can tell straight away. The cool thing about it is when you start thinking like that, you'll find like all the cool and random stuff that you can do in games, like what I do, where it's like I find the most random BS type of combos that no one ever uses. I still hate suppression. Suppression is a bad design. I 100% say that. I can't get away from it. I never will. Like, I hate suppression more than I hate the faded mechanic. Let's use that. We actually get more out of it for doing so. This actually is a pretty good run, I will admit that. Like, I'm not having to concentrate, which is already a good show of how powerful a run is. If I can just, like, do whatever I want and I've got a pattern to play around, you know, pretty much immortal. Although, what's our boss we got to face? Ooh, some max life, thank you. I will... Oh yeah, here's an interesting tip. You guys probably know this, you guys play this game more than I do in some cases recently, but this life force essence, if you use this in a fight rather than outside of it, you actually get the full amount if you've got the reduction of the health stuff. So, yeah. Small things, small things. So like, have I got it now? No, I don't. But yeah, if I did, that's the way you probably end up going about it. So the item that's giving me all the block is the Flame Ward Fragment. So that's giving me all the block that I get. The interesting thing, this is also is also comboing with the Frost Veil, so I'm actually getting Fury every time I destroy a dice as well, which is also kind of one of the cool things. And then this also destroys a die on ones, so every one I roll gives me one barrier, one Fury, or technically 2 Fury, and also 2 block, which is stacking up quite nicely. And if I roll 5s, we're getting this. There is the spell. Let's go to my codex. Don't worry, I'm not going to abandon it. For this one, where are you? That is just a really good defense spell. Yeah, this one here, the Phoenix Ward. Oh yeah, the Molly Spindle upgrade. It's one of those ones that I love taking it, and in some cases has punished me quite badly, because for some reason I roll lots of ones. But yeah, Phoenix Ward is the spell that would probably finish this build off, because at that point then I always have something that I can generate. The 3s I always generate anyway, which I keep going, or 4s or stuff like that with the Amalgamate. And then, yeah, I just have infinite block. The issue is if I had the Tenacity, I'd only be able to get 4 block in a turn, so this stuff would actually hurt me, which is the only problem with this particular build. Because I could only gain the block on the dice destruction, do it 4 times, so I wouldn't gain any more. So we can use that now and gain the 5 instantly. Okay, what are we doing here? The 1 and the 3 then. Yeah, it's like, it just gains so much by itself. Yeah, no worries, Phil. Take care. You have fun. I'll try and stream some more for you as well. Make other videos of this will be a great time. Now, what are we doing here? Let's separate that out. Do it on the 4, why not? destroy everything. Man, I do love this dice destruction build. It is so good. And it's actually relatively consistent. Like, if you just get a few setup pieces, like, you can really jump into it, and there's, like, other payoffs than just the Flamestorm as well. But yeah, you definitely need something that gives you the ability to keep generating the specific die you need. Oh, I lost the 3. But don't worry, I can make another one. Let's roll those. I would like to at least get some more barrier up. That'd be kind of nice to have. Okay, now we don't need to worry about that, so we can do this, and that's... Yeah, I do need to stream more of this. I've kind of been stuck in the way of, like, playing specific things recently. We'll use a 3 here, actually, instead of that, so I get the 4 over here. You can... I completely agree with that. I mean, I completely agree. Like, having infinite dice was such a cool part of the mechanic. And I'll say it, I sometimes still go and watch one of my old Styx videos where I had, like, over, like, 40 plus. Because I like seeing lots of die on the screen. Yeah. The other thing is, I can see why you put the dice limit in. My only thing is so the one thing I would have done to kind of like when they brought out the full release, you know, and I understand why you take away the whole thing, is I would have made a relic or an artifact that would have allowed you to still have no cap, essentially, for the dice storage. You know, because it would have still allowed for some of the plays to be made, and they would still be broken, but it also is something that wouldn't be overpowered, and you're giving up other relics for it, essentially, or other artifacts. Which would have been still a cool homage to, like, the whole, sort of... Yeah, the whole sapling die mechanic, yeah. I agree on that one. Like, you never do want to spend them. Just stand there going like, grow my pretties, grow. I mean, to be honest, I mean, speaking of that, it's kind of actually got me an idea in the back of my mind now, which is, 2 cool artifacts you could add to the game. One being to increase the dice limit. The other one is changing the dice cap themselves, so you're not rolling d4s as such, or you're still rolling d4s, but like if you had a way to increase the dice value with like sapling die or blessing or stuff like that, they wouldn't overflow, so you'd have like a dice with 9 on it, and then it overflows at 10, so you increase the dice cap to 9. That would be an interesting thing to have as well. It's just sort of ways of like how you can apply the mechanics of the game in particular ways, and so the way I play with sapling die is they're kind of the mechanic. If you're already ahead, they're good because essentially they can pay for your dice economy. Right? So it gives you more dice to play with every turn, and you don't have to use them. So the way that I probably end up thinking about it is, it's kind of like the, what's it called? The thing that allows you to keep the dice to persist every turn. Essentially, think of it like that. It's a way to persist dice. So, I think it's good in certain situations. Like 100%. But they're not like the same way like the same way sticks is not a very good offensive attack during the late game. I'm never gonna get away from that. It's me being like, I know sticks is bad, I know sticks is bad, I know sticks is bad. Oh look, sticks, I'm taking that. But yeah. I think the main thing is as you get to higher levels and like going for like more descents, it changes like what certain spells are good at and what they aren't good at. So like Amalgamate early game is probably a really good defense spell that can also do damage. You know, late game it comes a way to kind of manipulate dice values and also duplicating buffs on spell on dice more than it is the other two, although the other two can kind of still help out in their own way, and you can still get good runs by using those abilities that it has as like primary ways. I think Hazel loves this spell so much because again, just it allows you to get specific setups, and also Azar as well, as we can now see. Man gaining like 76 armor. It's ridiculous. Okay, now we're in the danger zone, I think. Yeah, I would always take sapling die if I get a way to generate them. I think a lot of it now is like evaluating what else are you getting as part of that transaction, right? So here you go, look. You get 2 energized for that, just because I put it in there. Let's do this again. I feel like I should put up, like, you know, the deal meme, you know? I offer you sapling die. And you get this in return. I mean, this run is pretty much a done deal, I think, now. So, as long as I don't do something silly to muck it up, I think we're pretty much safe. Yeah, so I say if you guys want me to do another character in particular, let me know. We've got Hazel and Lapis to do, so those are your 2 picks. And technically we do have Saphira, because I did a first one and it was terrible, so I'll give that. So, yeah, take your pick of what you would like. Lightning, water, or earth? Yeah, so this is kind of the problem I was talking about, where we get a turn where I wouldn't be able to do much. But, so I actually have ways to kind of generate particular die in the way I want. Oh yeah, the boss fights getting grindy is a really big thing. I completely agree with that statement. It's like your builds pretty much will win you the game anyway, so there's no need to drag it out, but you got no choice but to like play like 20 turns because they just have either so much health or they gain like so many different mechanics because of the things you picked up. That's why like one of the things I had, which was like, did I get that achievement? I'm not sure if I have. Where it's like destroy a boss in 1 turn or something by turn 4 or 3 was one of probably the most annoying ones to get because it's just like, really. Had a highly specialized setup to do it. We'll just do it the first couple of bosses. I think, like, yeah, it's this one here. You gotta try and defeat this guy within 3 turns. Like, I don't understand how you're really meant to do that. Because turn 1, you've got to be able to do, like, 200 damage, and it's just like, that's ridiculous. Yeah, not a bad build, that one. I like that. Good old dice destruction. When I first did a run and this popped up, and I saw it, I was just, so happy. And now it's like a common thing for Azar to do, in my opinion. Okay. What should we do, guys? Which one should we go for? I'm fancying a Hazel run, you know, fire burns down forest, so... But, you know, has anyone got anything in particular you want to go? In the meantime, I'll have a look. Was there an achievement for it? Recheck for... Hazel, yeah. Oh, cool then. What is it? Oh yeah, like... Hazel always... I think Hazel is probably one of the best, like, one of the best designed characters in this game in regards to just how good everything is. Yeah, I forget what it is. Cool. We're doing a Hazel run then.
How may I serve you?
Now, just because, like, overall everything is so, like, very simplistic, but you've got so many ways to be able to do stuff. And we'll do my favorite one, which is a Beast Within, and I guess we'll take the granite ore for safety. Could go sapling stuff. But, yeah, so she's got so many different mechanics that all kind of have their own identity, but also can work well with each other as well. From, like, power scaling, the blessing effects, which also goes to power scaling, and just doing general damage, defensive options. You can get a lot of defense, and then go with, like, thorns, isn't it, with that? Pyromaniac has got a weird thing. We don't like that, because that actually bugs out. Yeah, but Amalgamate overall is probably... Like, the main reason it's so good is the fact that you can make any dice value you want with the dice that you have, pretty much. Theoretically. That's not great. Third turn is terrible. Yeah. I think the only issue with Hazel is the fact that, like, when you get certain effects, you just kind of have to, like, suffer through it. Like, I have to go for Decrepit here, I don't want to. Or, like, no, we don't really care about Onslaught. Like, I don't think, like, the effects on you are always, like, the main important things. Like, the effects on enemies are kind of irrelevant anyway. And, like, you can get around stuff, but I think the problem is, like, she relies heavily on, like, setup stuff in certain ways that it actually becomes a detriment. So we could get the fence here, actually, we'll do that. So, like, she has really good consistency, but there is the problem where sometimes you just don't get the stuff you want because she has so many different options. So, like, I would end up losing runs just because, like, I didn't get the thing I needed. You know, the thing that kind of makes the build actually work, or the spells. So, like, technically, like, Fleeting Might is not bad. I like Spring into Action. It's actually pretty good for defensive options. Yeah, it really is, like, because, like, there's so much stuff where you either get, like, too many defensive spells, or you get too many offensive stuff, at which point you're just kind of like, what do I do? And you're always going to come against, especially in the later games, you're against, like, enemies that scale, and scale quite well as well, which is always a bit of a problem. Yeah, so Spring into Action we'll take here, actually. Gives me a bit of extra power as well, so it's a good happy medium. And we're going to the left. Because we want to get that the artifact. I do not want to lose spring to action, but I will take 10 damage for that chance for that shard. And we got it. Nice. So what I love about this is, if you get power scaling, this is such a good upgrade. But we'll hold off for it for a moment. Because I would like to see what other spells we get, and I don't really want to upgrade that straight away. This, though, is pretty good, actually. We'll upgrade that. Yeah. Continue. And I don't want to be mean to Hazel, because I do like her as a character. But one, I think, my biggest issues with it, like with her as a character, is I don't think sometimes she has a very good instant payoff card. Right? Like, there isn't just like one spell in her set that you could say is like, oh, that just wins me the run. Like, you have to have other stuff to go alongside it, which is probably the downside of the character overall. We'll just actually play it safer. And I guess that would probably be my only niggle about the character overall. It's not even like that bad of a niggle, really. There we go. That thing is down. Now, let's see what elite we get. My money is on the Abbot. See, this is actually pretty good, Blossom. I think it's one of those utility spells that gets a little bit looked over. Flourish is interesting if you've got ways to get the countdown down, but yeah, not great overall. Terraform I don't mind, and we do have ways to generate 6s, so there's extra value there. But it doesn't give much defense. So we're rolling. Oh, that's really annoying. And for those of you who watch way too many of my videos on this game, you know why this is a hard choice for me. I really want to take it. Fortitude, man. Okay, so Pox Flare is probably the best choice, right? But I really like Fortitude. Oh, no, we take Pox Flare, right? Alright, this just solves my damage problems going forwards. But I already got the upgrade for this I could take, and I just get 8 and then start gaining the thing. Okay, this is like serious thinking time. So, I'm going to throw out my biases out the window on this one. Now, Poxfire is DPS with the extra 10 damage that I can get and the upgrade for it on this route is just really good. We're not a Blessing build, so Blessing is irrelevant. This one for Fortitude is still pretty good. Gives a good amount of defense, which the moment I don't really need, which is probably taking Bristle out if we do that. And I get a chance to roll 6s. We can get the upgrade for this, but I have no way to deal good damage at the moment. Yeah, I do have a really decent block spell. I have to think this through properly. It's that point where it's like, I know what the best decision is, but if I don't say it out loud, I won't pay attention to it. So yeah, Poxfire is the best one. The question here, though, is like, do I upgrade this? I think no. For now, we just put it in the build. Yeah. Yeah, the +1 strength for it is the upgrade for it we'll get. It's just Sting is so good at the moment because the fact that I can reuse the dice. So if I get 6s and stuff, there are ways I can do the I can do Sting twice and still do Poxfire. So it's just extra damage for free. Plus it also deals 7 here for 6. Which, if we get it, is kind of important. Okay, we'll go there and just get rid of that guy. Though there is some method to my madness. Some. Very little, but still some. Yeah, so like here, for instance, is the way I get a lot of value for it. But yeah, this seems like a thing that's going well, I must say. man, if I had picked the fortitude there, I wonder how much of you guys would have been annoyed. There we go. Now I get the upgrade. Countdown. Do we have any decent countdown? This technically is, and so is that, but we're not using that for later. Less than 8 spells being cast. I'm rolling 3 die. So even at the best scenario, we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then maybe 8. Very rarely we're going over that at the moment. If I get the extra dice, then I won't get it next turn. I'm gonna gamble. Ooh, that's brilliant. I think that is absolutely fine. 5 Fury. Ooh, the extra dice. Ooh, the extra power gain. 4 attacks. 4 attacks is gonna be difficult still. The Fury is better. Far better than the other options. Okay, let's go. It's that point now where it's like, you know, I've already got my 1 win, so I need to put like the serious face on, you know, and actually pay attention to what I'm doing and not make mistakes. That's 8 defense there, so let's do that to make... Be sensible, be sensible. But he also had the other thing on me. It's that point where I need to hold myself back. It's like, don't be an idiot. I should also get more Fury to make these two better. Oh, come on, really? Not that it mattered, but still. He whinges about the small things consistently. Ooh, Consecrate. I really do like Instinct. I think that's actually not a bad thing to have here. Yeah. Let's go with Instinct here. It's the turn, right? For, yeah, for the turn. Do I want countdown on that? Or do you want the upgrades? Okay, normally I would get this one, but we're actually going to get this upgrade to have the extra rolls so I can kind of force 5s and 6s a little bit more consistently. Now we'll take the health here because I want to play safe. And let's do the boss fight. Ignore the other plants for no reason. Yeah, put that in there. Yeah, so the reason I went with this is the fact that I can use it to either deal more damage in an early run, or actually 4 goes in there, we get the 5, that goes in there, set that up. Did that pox it for 15? I did not know it would do that. How interesting. Yeah, he's still got the days on him as well. Is that because it... Yeah, I did 2 days originally to start with. Okay, cool. That means actually this is still good to do that again. Put that on there for defense. Keep his damage low. There is the really cool buff I think I can get, or the artifact, which is whenever I apply the daze or the mark, it applies the other one as well. That should be really good to pick up here. What do we got? So Ether, receive weakness, which you do not want, and take a modifier. What spell have we got here? I don't mind Granite Guard as a panic button thing, but we don't really have anything else that's magical. Kind of wish I kept Fortitude now, but I probably wouldn't have won that fight if I didn't have the pox, so... Okay, I'm going to reroll these, they're not that great. Natural hardiness could be interesting. Again, for the start of battle stuff. That's too expensive currently for what we're doing. Ultimate power. I already have 1 power, so gaining more could also be interesting. Now, do I just accept this as the extra die and take the modifier? Or do I roll? Okay. I'm going to take the ultimate power because I'm greedy and I never learned my lesson from it. And I was hoping to get... So Nullify is terrible, we'll take the odd thing. The other one wasn't even a competition. I was thinking if I get the automated rune from the chest, I've got to give it 2 spells. Darn it. It would not be bad. Oh well, we'll give it that. Man, I hate I have to do that. I forgot I had to give it 2 spells. Poison Trap is terrible. I can take that's absolutely fine. Lose max life. Yeah, I'll lose some max life here, and then we can gain a common spell. That is absolutely fine. Ooh, Bleeding Exterior. I like the sounds of that. I'll take that. Yeah, it was rough. I kind of took the gamble on if I could get something pretty decent, which is fair. And like I know it wasn't the best choice, so I could deal with that. Actually, we'll buy the relic here. It's fine. I meant going to like shop, but every 3 times you apply affliction to an enemy, deal 4 damage. Actually works on my build. Funny enough. 2 attacks apply 1 week. That could also be pretty interesting. Because technically this applies it twice. Plus also this. So actually, yeah, this is really good. Really, really good. This is the first time I've actually ever taken this on easy level characters. Of all characters, Hazel's what we take on. Oh, and these guys are going to get it applied to them as well, aren't they? So they're actually going to take more damage, I assume? No? Or just down? Yeah, they actually take the damage for it. Cool. Yeah, they do, because, like, if I apply it... Is it me applying it or me just casting a spell? Let's double check this. So, if I just do this... Okay, it doesn't apply the weakness. Does not apply on weakness. Shame. But the box will. Man, I swear I do come up with some of the most weirdest things every single time, just because of the fact that I want to take some random stuff. I know it's a horrible fight. This is a horrible fight. Okay. We gotta be really fast on this one, I think. I've got to hit him again, annoyingly. Oh well. Really, game? And roll that. Do the damage. Roll it again. That's the... and that there. No armor. This spitting grab is making an enemy. There you go. I'm trying to think, like, where would this run go? I do like Earthquake. Stalk, though, is kind of... This kind of fits the build I'm going for. And I kind of want to take it because of that. So Earthquake is really good on the sense that it does also deal damage and does damage to everything, but it doesn't give me the reroll effect that I currently got ongoing, which is kind of working for the build really well. So I don't want to give that up. I'm going to take Stalk just because it also kind of fits with the Instinct thing, and also can apply it to all enemies rather than just the one, which also going to help with dealing extra damage and stuff like that. And it also sells some more as well for later rather than rerolling and things. Guys, are we an affliction build? Is this what we are? I mean, okay, Sword of Pain is not bad. I probably could take that. An enemy death roll of dice is, yeah, kind of interesting, but I'm doing it. We're taking Wither Claw. We're applying debuffs everywhere today. Into shop we go. What have we got here? Ooh, Gaia's Wrath. And that is pretty much my power scaling for the run, if you want to take it. Nurture is also pretty good at just kind of getting me stuff. I do want that. I do want that. Like, actually having extra buffs and getting lots of 6s with this sort of combo is pretty good. Do I give up Sting? No. I think Sting still stays. Maybe it'd be like this setup here. And if I get this upgrade for the auto cast, maybe it's worth just checking in. Yeah, let's continue on. I do like the Persist actually here. Manifold, manifold, manifold. X value, X value, X value. Manifold dice is way too good. Cool. Okay. Yeah, still checking something else I wanted on there. Lowest dice becomes it, or 3 random die. We were saved for the 3 random, I believe. And then, yeah, let's try and deal with what we've got to deal with. So, first of all, I think chucking this into there. Gets you applied. Deal damage. Roll that up. I'm going to deal more damage here, so I got the 6 to kind of force it a little bit. Ah, that just gets applied to any damage. Nice. Should have done that first. 6, we can get more damage out. I'll take a bit for that, that's fine. I could have been so much more efficient that turn. So much more. Nice. This is the weirdest build I've had for Hazel. I will admit that. Was he applying affliction? Now, I have a question. Vine Grip is interesting, but I don't think it works. Aspect of Earth is kind of cool, but yeah, I don't really care about it. I want to double check again, because I'm not too sure on this. Does Carapace... I wonder, does the Carapace Affliction apply to myself? We'll take the spell here. Earthbane, X on the Rock Slide. Ooh, ramp up. Ooh, Infused Potency. Yes. I will take it. I have no idea what this build is becoming, but I'm like, I'm going to be doing it as much as I can. Okay, so... Instinct, is that worth it here? Probably not. Right, I need something something that's more defensive than that. Especially late game. Carapace is slightly better, so we can test that out. I'm thinking that Sting can come out now, and we'll go with Gaia's Wrath, just so I can scale any attack when I get to attack. Right, so we can defend and attack in different ways, and that'll be what we'll do. We still apply all the debuffs, but I want to also see if the having this the vulnerability thing on me will actually work. The sap, yeah. Cool. So he's doing utility spells. Just don't use them. Cool. So let's do that first. We fully defend. Oh yeah. Give me power. So here defensive gives him extra bonuses, but we still need to defend, so we'll do that. 10 here, it's fully defended there. That's a 5. I am interested in finding it out. Okay, no anti-magic again. So let's try it here. So I can't get any other defense any other way, so... It does! It goes up! That is nice to know, although I thought it's kind of one thing to do, but whatever. Learning stuff like this is important. And no attacking, got it. Fair enough. is terrible. I'm also like mucking around with this, like doing this way. 24 damage. Take 19 from that. That's 8 on there, which is actually quite a lot. And then take the potion. And then the 5, and then that goes down. I mean, technically that is worth it still, because I probably could remove this guy quickly. Oh, that gives me affliction on it. Nice. Green hit. Let's get that and just set more power. That's fully defended. That's still a lot more damage there. Man, having this Pox Flare is actually really good. Like, I know I underestimate it. With the hit from this, like, we are stacking damage up really well. Okay, what we got? 1 power, curse, or vex. Oh yeah, I don't get a spell because of the stupid thing I picked up earlier, right? This one, yeah. I'm gonna reroll those. I don't think any of them are good. Play status effects to me. No. Odd die on odd turns. I think even, because we've already got this one on odd, so... We can balance stuff out. Losing 2 spells. I like Sting so much. Infused Potency is not going to be great. And if I've got Instinct, it's better than Stalk currently, so... Yeah. We'll lose those 2. It's rough, but now we don't need to do that again. That's good news. Ooh, Seismic. Interesting. 1 random spell. That is terrible. Do not like the Frenzy bug as well with that. That's also another problem. Enemies deal double damage when I'm at full HP. Well, I'm never gonna be... Oh, no, but they're at full HP and not me. I always forget that. Frantic I can't deal with. +1 to each run style if each turn. So that'll be this that gets the +1 to it. It's kind of fine, I think. I can probably deal with that, but it's for 1, so it's not very good. Guess we're re-rolling here. Spells, recharge no more than 1 per turn. That is not great. 10 on that, which means kind of a spell. No battle start with 3. I'll take that. Turn 4 is terrible. Turn 1, clumsy is fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that is the best option here. And I would like to go to the left, but that's the super elite, so I want to avoid that. If I can. I can also go to the shop. See if there's anything good in there. Impure Offering isn't bad. Ooh. Bloom Bolt. Actually, I do like the Rewrite Reality here. Bloom Bolt is also pretty good for scaling. So Bloom Bolt could be like that thing that just keeps getting more and more damage, and I cast it like twice every turn with the rerolls and getting 6s. Which this generates as well, so they have a consistent way to benefit from that while still dealing other damage, so that could be Gaia's Wrath out because of it. If I actually, like, get rid of that. And then Rewrite Reality is pretty nice at just re-rolling lower value die as well to get higher value stuff. Also with the Manifold thing on it as well is actually pretty good. Doesn't combo with the Bloom Bolt though. but I would need to give up other stuff to get it. If I want Rewrite Reality. I think Bloom Bolt is too good to pass up here. For just the setup. And then keep up Instinct. It's 35. Doesn't give me enough anyway. Yeah. I think that was a good choice. Go for the event. Receive Major Hex. Every 5th non-enchant dice becomes a Vex die. I get a shard for it. I will take that offer, actually. Just so I can get this in. Actually, I don't need that. I want that in. And let's go for the other event. We've still got the elites to face up here anyway. Oh, this fight. Not great. Not great indeed. Let's do this, cast that. Okay, cool. We can work around it. Man, that Manifold trick actually is working out really well. I can use it every turn and, like, get double damage just on one spell. Or at least, like, plus extra 6. Ooh, Pulverize. Technically did the same thing before as Sting. Just does less damage. What's on the map? I do have a shop coming up if I go that route, which if I don't go that route there's no point, but I want the event anyway, so I guess we'll take Pulverize here for the sellable. Work it around that. Edge of Insanity. Miscast. Spells have 1-X. Well, I get around that already a little bit, so the rune could be useful. What rune would be useful though? Actually, casting Instinct every turn would be pretty good, if I could get the Automation rune on that. Anything else giving extra bonuses could be interesting. Yeah, we'll rob him. We'll see. +1 status effects. A -1, is that? Ooh. That on Pox. Means it triggers every single hit. Every single hit. And I could only use it twice, which allows me to have variability in what I'm using. Yes, I will take that. No idea if that was a good choice, but I feel like it was. You know? Ah, this fight. Delightful. Don't need to defend. You can just go full on damage. Oh, you do 4 to him. Okay, I do need to defend. My real question is... Okay, it's only one application of the Doom Spinner. Interesting. Arrow, I know what I'm like. Thank you for reminding me that I did make the right decision. But don't worry, I will muck it up some other way for you at some point in the future. Don't worry. We will do that. take 4 from that anyway, so might as well defend, so give you the Siphon. Cast this. No. I really should defend here, shouldn't I? Do I accept 10? It's such a lot of damage, though. I mean, it's 10 or 6. They're both the same, really. Okay, let's just try and be defensive more often. The 1 doesn't do anything. Do that to the 3. That gives me 10 armor. Oh, I could have used the 2 there to double that damage pretty much. Okay, bad choice. That doesn't trigger, cool. You'll die. Man, I was a little bit worried on that fight there. I thought I almost mucked it up. Okay, so where are we going here? Probably unlocking that and just putting some other defensive option in. Getting that upgraded could be really good, or just making that use... Nah, you can use cast as irrelevant. I guess we reroll these. Huh. I really can't say no to that. I mean, it's irrelevant if I pick it up or not, but... it's just like... Ooh, something that's blue. What do we got here, then? Non-attack spells, deplete them all. Yeah, I'm going to take the lifesteal potion here. And move on. I think that's fair. And hopefully we'll get like a good hit on one of these guys immediately. This is definitely one of the weirdest fights, I think, they've had, like, straight away. Oh yeah, the -1x, isn't it? I was thinking why I was having issues with that. I think I do this to take this guy out. Or at least try to. Because I think I'm going to have issues anyway with this particular fight. That's like literally 0. Can't even defend. So that one's gone. No. I should have hit that one. I think actually they do die here. No, I survived. Healing, thank the Lord. And thank you. Get that so we actually have other stuff going on. Man, I never thought that vampiric potion would be the thing that would save me, but it did. Okay. So we can remove that guy. He takes that on there. Now we can just full on hit the other one. And reroll out some of this stuff. I know, Januk. It's been a while, isn't it? I know. I'm going to do more of this. I'm going to be playing more of this again as well. I've kind of missed it, and I was focused on like other stuff and playing other games and things, and I'm sorry, I'll say that much to you guys. I know how much you appreciate these videos and stuff, so we're seeing what we can do, and I've got this really weird run that I'm playing at the moment with Popsphere, so we're having a grand old time with it. Let's gain that. And start dealing damage, I guess. Ooh. Cast that first. Get the kill. Yeah, it's been a really long time since I started. I was playing this. It's terrible of me. Absolutely terrible. Keep playing it more. 21. What are we doing here then? Guess we are trying to take that guy out first. Could have worked on that more efficiently. That's defense there. Do I want to give him the predicted? Not really, so guess we'll just extend that on him. Oh, we died. I did terrible. I guess that wasn't a bad run. That wasn't a bad run. You know, let's do one more. We'll do a Lapis run, and then I guess I will call that a day afterwards, depending on how long this one will be. So, Fluctuate. Yeah, why not? Let's try this. Go a Fluctuate and give me the extra dice at the start. Really good. Oh, boss battles start with 6 power. You can't stop me. No one can stop me. We're finishing off with a classic Styx run, guys. We're going to go to the right. Let's go. You cannot stop me. Let's go then. Return that. Thank you very much. That'll do 9 damage to the front guy if we put that in. That seems like a great idea. And then we can defend then. I would like to do something with that, but we're not going to. We're just going to deal damage to this guy. Ooh. Not quite the kill. Now it is. All I need now is a way to benefit from rolling dice. Ooh, plunge. I do like that, actually. That seems pretty useful. Do I have an early shop or a shop I'm hitting later? I kind of do, because we want to go this way anyway. So I probably should just take what I'm given here. Isn't bad either. Take the plunge, probably more useful long term. Take the plunge. Oh, funny wordplay. Ooh, okay. Reroll, reroll. Roll. That 3 goes in there then. And we'll just accept whatever happens there. Let's go. I would like to get some reroll synergies and stuff, actually. That'd be kind of nice, right? Always put the smallest one in. Oh, cool. Because we're rolling lots of die anyway, so stuff that does stuff that when I roll dice will be really useful here. Nice, landing on a pretty good one there. We'll defend anyway, so just do this. I could have rolled 3 as well, but... What's it? Is it 3.5 is the average on a dice roll? Voila! I do laugh. Every time I do a sticks build, it's just like, it just keeps coming back. I can't get away from it. Don't need that. I will... Is this worth it? I mean, defensively, it's actually pretty good. I'll take it. Because, like, with this and this together, like, I could get, like, some really good defensive things with it. If I have other ways to get the defense as well. Do not need this. We're going to do that anyway. Minus countdown, which I don't have any except for these two, which technically is not bad. When attacked, don't really care. I'm going to reroll her. Enemy death. Foresight gain. Start a battle. Heal. I guess we'll take this healing. What are we upgrading here? What are we upgrading? I'm so tempted. No, we'll do that. Put the plunge in. That is the better way of going about it. So if ever I have health, we will get healing straight away, so that's pretty good. But I do need to make sure I heal and defend properly. That's 7, so we technically can do 5, and then we'll do the 3. No, we can do the 4 here. No, I can just defend. Almost got punished for my my poor decision making. Ooh, 8. You're already removed from these two. That's great news. And you're doing 7 damage, which is not great. So let's see what we're going to do first. I'm going to accept some damage here, actually. We're going to start with the sticks. We're going to end with the sticks. Those two do fine. I don't need to worry about anything else, so we can just set up here and deal damage. I'm going to work our way around. And then we can defend, so... Got 5. Check a 3 over here, see what happens. Another 4. Interesting. Can we do that and that? So we get another 5. So I guess I'm going to take a 3 and a 4 here. Just give me the max amount of defense I get, and accept 1 damage. Just I don't know what it is about sticks. It's just the whole stitching effect of hitting the dice and then it being re-rolled and stuff is just so satisfying. Again, I can accept 1. I could have re-rolled 2 and 3 here and fluctuate. But remember, I can do that. Min-max better, guys, and I knew it. Just get some rupture. That's right, Phil. That's all we need to do. Is if we get rupture, we're going to be in a great spot. Oh, we got some here with frozen shield. That's actually probably not too bad. You know what? I might as well pick that up. It's not an amazing defense option, but it's kind of similar to plunge anyway. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do it. We're gonna build this thing. Deplete effect won't matter, but 6. Everyone knows me. Come on, I can't help myself. You know what? If we're gonna lean into it, we might as well lean into it properly, right? Don't need that yet. Decided sticks. Ooh, Glaciate, one of my favourite defense spells. Just double check there's nothing else in here that's needed. We'll pick that up then. So Glaciate swaps out for that. And I think, yeah, we are pretty much on the way. Reroll everything, don't care. How much is that? That is 35. On that gives me up to 80-90. Nothing I can get for 90 at the moment, so okay, we skip. Let's see how this works with just doing sticks damage only. Your fairy form will do nothing here. I guess it will do, because it will affect this, won't it? I will take my armor. I will then play with sticks. And I'll accept 1 damage. Wavekeeper kind of is and it isn't, in my opinion. I just feel like it kind of... don't know. Do I accept that here? Let's roll first. Ooh, that's 6. That's pretty good defense, son. I was hoping to get like a 6 in there. The problem is getting it to work originally, right? That's like the issue I would have with it. Is like getting it to work. I don't need to apply the front one. I just need to defend against this guy now. So we can just do this and this to defend there. Sets up for later defenses and we can deal damage. There we go. Yeah, I love Glaciate. I think it's probably one of the spells that is like my favorite and is such a good design. All enemies, Crushing Wave. I do like that. Crushing Wave. Not great though because of, yeah, expensive to play. Let's reroll. Mental Reservoir. But the Crystalline Azure does work really well. I will take that, actually. Does it beat out Plunge in this case? Kind of, actually. Yeah. Kind of does. Also works really well with the Plagas, in my opinion. But Glaciate is so good. I want to keep Frozen Shield in, so... Here's a cool combo for you guys with the Plagas, because I know it's a spell that's not really taken that much. Obviously, this gives you ×2 block on the next spell cast, and Glaciate, because it's a spell cast, doubles both effects of this. So you get the X from here, which will be obviously like 8, and then you'll also get it on here, which is 8, and if you've got the ×2 again, it's also 16. So I think you get 16 delay block or something like that, I think. Or is it? Yeah. It must be something like that. I'm pretty sure. I remember having that. I know, it's one of the things that I never realized how good this spell is in combination with others. And I think it's one that I think needs sometimes to be like, yeah, do this, don't be an idiot. We actually heal in the fight anyway, so there's no point getting anything here. We'll just choose a spell. Oh, yeah, the Manifold. Ooh, Encase Azure as well. Man. Man, I'm getting all the stuff that allows me to keep dice around. This is great. Yeah, so we'll take this. I can't help myself. In case Azora is better now, so yeah, more defense rather than trying to reduce. It's reducing the costs are better. Means I get to cast this easier. It's interesting. Yeah, okay, we'll play with the in case Azora first. Do have to kill the first bud though, because all my dice are going to hit that. The first seedling. And we can never use the vampiric potion as well, so that's kind of hilarious. You go in there then. Let's roll that. Ooh, 6, okay. Another 6, interesting. I'm going to take a heap amount of damage. You know, I can be punished for my hubris, it is fine. I have got no problem with that. That's a 4, I'm going to put that in there just so that triggers that anyway now. Consistently, that's a 6 and a 6 to go in there. That's a 3 and a 5. If does that, it's fine. Let's set that up for next turn. Take 14 from that, so 4. And this won't matter because we're going to deal more damage than that anyway. Oh, 2 spells. So it automatically triggers this every time with a 4. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I know the upgrade for the delay, delay block is so good with that. It's one of the things where it's just like, when you spot those combos like that, you just feel like, oh, that's so satisfying. But I need to get the upgrade first, so... And yeah. How would you like the chip damage now? Like this casting, just from putting a 4 in there, is so good. And it's adding so much damage as well. 9 on that, so we've got to be careful. We've already got 10 blocks. Actually, I think we're fine. Yeah, I think we win. No need to worry or panic. Just get more dice. Man, yeah, the Crystalline Azor and that, yeah, as long as it's the only countdown, but that's also kind of like what I like doing sometimes, is just having like one countdown spell, and then triggering repeatedly. Flip all, gain 3, kill target instantly. That could be good, just if I need to remove something. But I think we got better options, so let's do this. I wouldn't mind this, but the Grave Chill is not that great, to be honest. And this is not what I want either. No, it's actually pretty good, like, defensive stuff for 2. I guess I'll take the Malice Coil. I know, I really like the Grave Chill as well. The issue is it's another countdown spell, plus the Grave Chill effect will overwrite the Stygian thing. Yeah, I know. This is my biggest disappointment, because I would love to take it, especially because the fact that Crystalline Azor will trigger it every turn for free once, which means I don't need to worry about triggering it twice in a turn. Which makes it so much easier to get the effect triggering, and then having lots of extra, here's 4 block randomly for just random dice with the fluctuate and everything else as well. Could turn them back into the Stygian die, but I would need the upgrade for that as well. Let's reroll these also. That doesn't work, if I'm correct, because it runs off attack. Yeah. Even turns. It's actually fine. I don't really want to gamble on a mutator, so we'll take the even turn thing. That way we can keep more around. Now what are we taking here? Every 20 spells cast into the end of the turn is terrible. Do not want that either. When losing health from an enemy attack, also receive 1 vexed. I'm going to reroll these. I don't think there's any good things I can take from here. I can get better stuff or worse stuff. That could ruin me, also be absolutely fine. Can I make it with anything else? End of turn 6, take 30 damage. He would eat up the first dice. Yeah, that's the more important thing. You would eat up the dice, not the fact the crit doesn't work. Is Endless Wounds good to take here is my question. Huh. Guess going to early shop and seeing what's in there. I would probably take the event anyway. That means I would go through 1, 2, so up to 4, then I'd hit this to get rid of it into this fight with 2 and 4. Yeah, I can accept Endless Wounds. That's going to really hurt. I got no way to restore the health. Receiving sap is going to be awful as well. So I think I take this, this, and this. And if I go into the shop, I could just go for the gold or max life. No. We're fine as we are with that. That's a hard decision, that. I've got stuff I can sell here. Technically this, so maybe the shop is worth it early. Let's go for that then. Yeah, it's the attack thing, and sometimes I wish, like, it did affect it or stuff like that. Because it'd be, like, more interesting. Anything on here? Not really. Cold Snap is interesting. Noxious Display I wouldn't mind, but I can't really get rid of poison. Actually, that was one thing I pointed... I think I found out as well. Was the fact that the... Plunge is probably going in now, so I'll probably keep the Azor instead. Yeah. And Aquafortis. Is the fact that you can't the spell that removes poison only affects enemies. It doesn't affect you anymore. Now I don't know if that was like a recent update or has been like, well, I wouldn't say recent anymore because it's been a while since I played it, but like I didn't know if that was a thing that just kind of popped up randomly. And a spell deals unblocked damage. It's not a spell, I'm dealing damage. On enchanted dice spent, gain power and receive drain. Guess we're giving Poison Core. Take extra damage for no reason. Give everyone 5 poison. Ooh, I get to find out if Rupture will work with the poison. Oh, I guess you just don't. It just picked up Poison Core. It's not fair, game. Not fair. Guess getting 7 from there. Do I want to accept 7? Not really, but I don't really have much of a choice about it, I think. Yeah, I don't have much of a choice about it. Hello, you there. And set that up, put that in there. There we go. I love it is 12. And that go in there, that goes there, and then roll this. That's a 5, roll that, it's a 1. Yeah, but this Crystalline Azor versus Frozen Shield combo, I'm liking that. Liking that a lot. Now, we all know that this is not what's happening, right? Oh, and dying. Oh my god. Oh, I wish it was so much more pronounced. My brain is not going to function. Ooh, Tether Azor as well. No, I mean, I'm taking it. I've got all the Azors now. That's great. I can have all the dice. Oh my god, I make stupid plays consistently. I don't even read everything. Ooh, keep 10 block. Gain some Fury. We know Fury doesn't work, though. Keeping the block is more interesting. Actually. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I'm getting the no, not the, getting Tenacity now would be so good. Generally would probably be one of the better choices I could get. You know what, let's just drink this potion. I can't do any damage anyway. Put that and that in. Let's reroll this. Do it again. Once more. It's not anything good, so just get as much defense as I can, I guess. Yeah. Ah, finally a 4. I'm taking 17 in return for that. The 2, the 6, that's good enough. Put that in there then, put that there, and just spray. Ah, I could have actually removed him. Yeah, paying attention to buffs is probably the only thing that I'm really, really bad at with this. Oh no, they cast it. Okay, I was going to say, I was going to be like, hang on a minute, has that really ruined me or not? No, but it did cast, so it's fine. I should do that. I can block 11, that's fine. Put the 2 in there. 4 goes there. Trade that. Get that. We're done. Cool. Man, I have put myself in such an awkward position now. That can go in there. That now can generate that. That generates that. We're taking some damage, but it's fine, I guess. Main thing is Frozen Shield will get away. Yeah, the nullified does suck. I like the Poison Core gets rid of 1 of it, so it's not that bad. Like overall, but still a bit of a pain to deal with. Let's set this up for defense for next turn. Also, I still remember that we have Undying triggering, so that's my other problem as well. Because I will forget. Like 100% I'm gonna forget. Let's set that up so we have damage there. I'm gonna remove that while we can. I like this build, but I feel like I'm having to work harder for it. Which is probably a good thing. He always lives on this anyway, so... And now he's gone. But I do love the fact that I end up pulling this stuff with sticks every single time I get it. Ooh. That is probably a very lucky potion, in my opinion. Ooh, Ice Ward. It's actually kind of really good. It's annoying that it kind of interferes with Frozen Shield, but it might be something I might have to put into the build. So we go here. I need to heal up anyway, so take some health. Fight this elite. Hopefully it's the one we can cheese, I guess. It is! Man, I got the luckiest potion in the world. Eat that, suckers. Oh, nice, cool. Get some armor ready for next turn. So we all know if I didn't have that potion, this fight would be a loss. Okay, we all know. I know. I got so lucky. Like 100% so lucky. But don't worry, for every time that this does end up happening and works to my advantage, you know I'm going to have some bad luck eventually as well. It's got to even out the way the universe and functions and everything else as well, right? I think the words are, he can't keep getting away with this. Lots of twos. I don't need to defend, so it's fine. But we'll do it that way. This is annoying, I get the undying every so often, so I'm like, oh, okay. Just pass the turns, then pass the turn again. Ooh, some regen potion, that is delightful. Oh, Winter's Bite again. Ooh, poison barrier. Bit of a shame that's the rune that got for it, but this would help out the build a little bit. So I think it's well worth it. Does kind of interfere with what I'm trying to do. I think I have to double the glaciate here. Yeah. Obviously the tethers are pointless. We're going for the Plagus and then the Plagus. The word I will constantly pronounce to the day I die. Or I am pronouncing it correctly, who knows? Okay, cool. That goes there, that goes in there straight away. We're taking 8 damage. Huh. No, not 8, more than that. More than that. Okay, that's better. Just because it sets up for the next turn, it's more efficient. And we'll drink the regen potion. Should heal the rest of that back. That's going to be a problem. Especially this turn. That's 4 in there, that's 6 in there. Reroll that one. Reroll again. It's a 3, I'll take that. The only thing I would like is to be able to get the rupture on everyone. If I can do that, then we're in a far better spot. Or at least be able to choose where I put the rupture rather than it being the front guy all the time. Yeah, we kind of do fine here to do this actually, so let's be a bit greedy. Knocks up the what I get. I'm just trying to think, with the build that we've got, are we going to have to transition, or could I keep going to the end with this? And I would like to think I can keep going to the end, but... unfortunately, I know that might not be possible. me put that in there, though. 5 a little bit too much. Yeah, this is kind of like the point where it's like you do get these grindy matchups. There we go. Slice the poison. Exacties. What else we got? Ooh, wash away. Ooh, wash away. I'm gaining block. Ah, something was something else. Part of me thought it was on the whole re-roll stuff, but it isn't. I'll roll him. Ooh. I'm going to pick this up just because of the fact that we might need to change. Which means Poison Barrow will not be the option. Yeah, the sticks only hits the first enemy. So when they have the Undying effect, it won't go through, which is very frustrating to deal with. So it's kind of like, if I could move the... Yeah, then it hits the next one. So if I know it, say I've got like 2 dice that's going to hit the front enemy, and they're going to die from the 2 dice anyway, there's no point having the front one have the extra rupture on it. So I might as well move that over to the next one to get more damage out of it. Kind of, it's just more optimization. Or if I can hit all of them, that would also be better as well. Worth healing here rather than anything else. So like this fight is one of the ones where I can only hit the front one. But that's also going to mean that other ones at the back might not take as much damage over the course of the game, which could be a problem. 5, not great. We'll put that in there. I'll put the 2 in here and then use the 3 to try and defend a little bit. Ah, 4 finally. So we can put that in there. So apply that to the front guy, put that in there. Do some re-rolling. I'm going to sacrifice that 4. Just try and get as much defense as I can now. I'm going to take the pox hit, which is going to be a nightmare, but I just have to live with it. I'm just going to have to live with it. 23, we're safe. Cool. Yeah, we'll do that then. Oh, I could have got generated more. Here it's good, because you see these guys get summoned, so it's not too bad, but it's just one of those things where it's like I kind of want to be able to optimize it a little bit better. Is all. Nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking is my thing. I take 1 damage here. Yeah, fine. So I just hope I don't get Green Hydra head always at the back, because that's going to be a problem, especially if he attacks last all the time. Roll 3s, roll the 2, roll 1. Yeah, so this is the problem that's now happening here. The game has richly punished me randomly because these guys are going to be always at the back and I'm not going to have enough defense before I stop them. I mean, we're pretty much set up anyway, but still. Yeah, I spend that in there, yeah. That is a shame. That is a shame. Oh, that was going to be a good run if I get there. That'd be interesting to play on. Yeah, but I will admit, Crystalline Azure plus the Frozen Shield combo with sticks is, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. yeah, we'll have to leave it there, guys, unfortunately. I've got to cook some tea and do everything else as well, and then go to bed because it's getting late for me anyway. But yeah, appreciate you joining me. I said I will probably try and do more of this, actually, and probably put some other videos up of me doing some random runs, but actually, if I find some more time, I might stream this separately as well, so that might be. So maybe you'll get some random ones throughout the week, depending on what's going on. Actually, what have I got going on? I'll keep that a surprise. Alright guys, pleasure meeting you all again. Thanks for joining me. And I will see you all next one. Take care and enjoy the rest of your days.